And our course is pretty straightforward. Here is all the kind of general information that you want to know. There's the link to the class, which apparently might not let you log in using the OSS. Oh well, it will still be okay. There's also a link to the office hours I hold, which are every day 11 to 12, except for Wednesdays. That will be 10 to 11. And sorry, there was a noise which feels like there's someone I need to let into the class, but maybe not. Maybe I'm just crazy. Sorry, let me open up the chat so I can add people. Okay. Don't want anyone to not be able to get into class. It's always no fun. The password for the meeting is Newton. You may or may not actually need to enter it. I'm the instructor. There's my email. Email is a great way to get a hold of me. I usually am checking my email pretty often. It comes up on my phone. So if there's something important and you want to get to me as quickly as possible, email is probably the fastest way to get my attention. You could also call my phone. I will pick up, although if it's a number I don't recognize, I might go to voicemail. So if you really need to talk to me, leave a voicemail and I will definitely call you back right away. There's also a link to the discussions here, which is another good way to ask questions, especially if you have questions that you think other people might enjoy seeing the answer to. This is definitely like questions about math things or things related to your class. This would be a great place to ask them because then I can answer them, or other students can also chime in and answer them, and everybody can kind of see what's going on. So if you think you have a question that other people would want to see the answer to, that is probably the best place to ask it. Also, just so you all know, I am recording the classes. I will be posting a recording of the class afterwards in a way so that only you guys can watch the recording. It won't be public. There was something that I wanted to say. I'll probably post some of this, although maybe not all of it, because not all of it's important, but definitely if you want to look back at this, be like, oh, what was you talking about? You can look back at that as well. Some notes about the co-class. It's meant to be a support class for Math 17A. Really the idea is just to help you guys understand the material better. Most of the classes will consist of me showing you examples, maybe you guys working together in breakout rooms on some problems. I will, as I said, record and edit and post the video so that hopefully I can cut out most of the nonsense that I spew sometimes. I will try to make the videos edited to a nice degree. As far as grading for the class is pass, no pass. A passing grade is 75% or higher. Passing the class is not meant to be hard. If you attendance of the class is 50% of your grade, so if you attend, you're 2/3 of the way there already. And then the other 25% you can get through a combination of doing the weekly reflections, which I would like everyone to do. We'll look at those in a second. And then also the weekly quizzes, which the weekly quizzes, although I will grade them, like I will actually go look at what you've done and comment and write things. If you do the quiz, you'll get full credit. So the quizzes are to help me help you kind of see where you're at understanding wise, but really they're just another way to accumulate the points to pass the class. It is certainly my intention that everyone passes the class, right? This is the pass no pass class. It's here to help you with another class. As long as you come and do stuff and participate, you'll pass the class. I already said about discussion. Some notes about the class. Each unit is connected to the other. Really, that part is just meant to emphasize that you need to understand the material you're working on currently to help you understand the material you're going to know later. So we definitely want to kind of make sure that we are staying current with the material. Successful students are often spending 10 to 20 hours per week doing homework, practice problems, etc. for Math 17A. That's not for this class. This class, there should be very little outside work except for the quizzes, right? The quizzes, yes, will not have done in class, but really there shouldn't be any homework for this class that you have to do. It's for your actual 17A class. There is a fair amount, of work to be done. As far as getting help, aside from myself, I have email, office hours, discussion. You can also get help from the other math specialists who some of you may already be familiar with. Links to their websites are here. Casey, Claire, Duff, Grant, and Sarah are all excellent resources who are also math specialists at the Academic Assistance and Tutoring Center. So if you're looking for help and I'm not available, or you maybe like one of them better, perfectly fine. You are welcome to ask them for help. I will point out if you were around in summer session 2, you might have seen that we were very available during summer session 2. We are definitely less available during fall quarter because we have more classes to teach. So while I'm sure any of these people would be happy to help you in general, their availability is probably less so than it would have been in the summer. There's also a link that is not live yet, but if you click on this link for the student tutoring, and then you look down here, there is a virtual drop-in room and one-on-one appointments. And if you click on, I guess you can't click on any of it right now. If I click on this, yeah, go to tutoring appointments, and starting, yeah, I can't log into this because I'm not a student, but starting, I think on the 11th, no, on the 12th, beginning October 12th, you can have a student help you with stuff as well. So there's lots of places to get help. Please get help. We like to say get help before you need it, which I know is kind of hard because you're like, well, I don't need help if I don't need help, but you guys are already doing it because you're taking a co-class. So you're already getting help before you need it. What else here? This is just another link to the AATC website, which is kind of the same place. And then there's also, so Grant is one of my coworkers, and his website I find very useful. It's got lots of material for various math classes, but specifically for 17A. So I will often, I will fully admit, I often use the problems Grant has already posted to kind of teach from because they are good examples. So I will use this a lot. You guys should also be familiar with it because it's a great place just to get kind of resources of various sorts. And there's lots of stuff there. And then here's a link to my website, which has not as much great stuff as Grant's website. But the one thing you can find on this website that you can't find anywhere else is a link to schedule an appointment with me. So I do have some appointments available during the week. If you click on that, it'll take you to my Calendly page, and there you can see that every day there is some availability. On next Monday, I'm available at these times. Wednesday after that, there. So if you wanted to see me individually, or even with a couple other people, you're welcome to make a Zoom appointment with me on this Calendly calendar thing, and I will see you then. What else? There's also the Zoom links for the office hours, for the classes. This is the picture you'll see if my video is off, right? If I turn my video off right now, I don't know if I can, it doesn't matter. I don't need to do that. Eventually I'll turn my video off and we'll see that that's the picture we'll see. All right, and then below that, there's the course summary of all the stuff. Well, I know what I was gonna show you guys. So what I want to point out, let me grab this for 1 second. So I've been in the teacher view. This is, this is my Canvas, but here's what it looks like for you guys as students. So this is my student persona and all the classes I'm teaching. And here's Co-17A. I just want to tell you a few things you can do as students. You can definitely change the color. Maybe you don't like this green color, maybe you like this pink color better. You can also change the name, like to Co-17A with James. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty obvious it's with, but so you can do that for any of your classes. You can change what it looks like. So you actually, right, so it doesn't say like WLD 922, whatever, like that can be, I'm like, what class is that? Whereas this class, oh yeah, that makes it obvious what class it is. And then if we click on that as students, the one thing I kind of want to make you aware of, which you probably figured out, but just in case you haven't, if you look at the assignments tab, I really personally hate having it show a show by date. For me, that just does not look nice. I prefer to have it show by type, where all the reflections are first and all the quizzes are second. But maybe you prefer date. That is also fine. You can do whatever you want. It's your Canvas. And so if we look at the first couple things here, so quiz 0 and reflection 0 are kind of just things to help you get acquainted with how Gradescope and Canvas work. So for quiz 0, I just want you to take this quiz that's already been completed and submit it via Gradescope. So once you click on that, you will then, so you'll download the quiz. There's a whole video of me doing it. I feel like I don't need to do it again if there's already a video of me doing it. So if you want to do it, watch the video. But essentially, you'll download the thing, you'll open Gradescope, hopefully, and then you'll submit the PDF, just like that, so on and so forth. I will stop there because I don't need to repeat the information multiple times. And then the reflections, that's just a weekly thing where I want you to tell me about yourself a little bit, as well as ask me math questions. Jokes are always appreciated. And for this one, I also wanted to make sure you have a picture of yourself. So the weekly reflections are usually due, I think, on Monday at 5. Really, they're just a way for me to kind of get to know you guys a little bit more. Usually I would kind of get to know people in the classroom setting, but since this is a very atypical classroom setting, that is how we'll do. And then this reflection is not available yet because I do kind of want the reflections to be done. Like, I don't want you to do them all ahead of time. That would be silly. I want them to be kind of a snapshot of what is going on for you that week, with specifically what's going on in your math class. So we can look over here at my Canvas for a second, and I can show you that's not what I wanted. I wanted the assignments. So if we look at reflection 1, here's what it will actually look like once it's live. It's just, in this reflection, I want you to give me a brief summary of what you covered in your 17A class that week, how you think the first quiz I gave you went. The quizzes won't be that bad. They'll be pretty straightforward. A math question, a joke or meme, optional, and then not optional, some question that is not too personal, but a little bit personal. So those are, and also really the not optional question, if you find it is too personal, it is very optional. You don't have to answer any of the questions. You can say, James, I don't want to tell you if I have any siblings. It's perfectly fine. What else here? Also, if you guys have questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. So let's just look through the rest of Canvas. Let's see. Now I'm gonna kind of go back and forth between the teacher and the student view, just so we can see if there's any glaring differences that I need to be aware of. If we look at the modules in the student view, now you can pretty much see everything. So this is not the first time I've done Co-17A on Zoom. So I have a lot of videos from last quarter that I've posted that are short kind of instructional videos. So if there's something you're looking for, this is a good place to do it. These are all links to YouTube. I'll probably start posting so the class videos that I record and post, I'll probably actually post them as embedded pages. So you will see that after class today, that there will be, look over here at my page. Hopefully you guys can see this all right. There's a big old blank space here for the Zoom class videos that I will start putting the videos in today. And then below that, there's old quizzes and solutions, which will hopefully be somewhat similar to the quizzes I give you this quarter, but not exactly the same. Here's an example of the first one, if you just want to see it. Right, so asking you to find the domain of some functions, find the inverse of a function, and then use Desmos or some graphing utility to find the range of a function. So not super challenging. In fact, that's the first quiz solution that I had you guys upload for your quiz number 0. Let's see, that was, let's go back to the modules to make sure there's nothing I'm missing there. And I think that's about it. There's some log linear graph paper and some log graph paper, which we'll talk a little bit. And then there's also the first few chapters of the textbook. If you don't happen to have the textbook, or you don't love the way the online textbook is laid out, because the online textbook is kind of strange. It's hard to access things. Like, I think you have to click weirdly on pages to get to the next pages. So if you would like just a PDF of the chapters, they're right there. You are welcome to grab them. Yeah. Let's see. What's the assignments we talked about? They're right there. I'll try to keep the attendance up to date every day. If you attended and I marked you absent, just let me know. I don't intend to do that, but it might accidentally happen. Discussions are here. Here's a place where you can ask questions. Discussions are really great if you have a question that you think another student or many other students would want to hear the answer to. So definitely use the discussions to ask me math questions. And then if you're looking for something you can't find it, and this goes for me and for your other teachers, right? If you're looking for a file and you just can't seem to find it when you know it's there, look in the files. You should be able to find it, hopefully with relative ease. And I feel like that's really most of what's important. The grades, yeah, you can see nothing's been graded yet. And then this will take you to GradeScope. And GradeScope won't show you a whole lot right now. you'll be submitting the quizzes on Gradescope, and they'll become available once I have created them, but they're not there yet. So no big deal. Basically, once if you look at say like quiz 3, for example, right? There's the information for quiz 3, and once the quiz is live, there will actually be a PDF of the quiz in this blank space. And the quiz will be due on Monday, and I will make sure the quiz is there on the Friday before, or maybe even earlier, but definitely no later than the Friday, so that you have some time to do it. I know it's not, maybe it's less than ideal to have to do it over the weekend, but that's kind of the time that made the most sense. So I apologize for making you do a quiz over the weekend. That said, it's not meant to be something you spend a lot of time on. I wrote, I think 30 to 45 minutes at the very most, but really I imagine it's more like 10 to 20 minutes. So don't feel like you need to spend a ton of time on the quiz. As long as you do it, you'll get the points. Just try and do your best. I think let's see. So I want to make sure there's nothing I'm forgetting. I think that's mostly it. I know I was gonna go back here, so I keep doing stuff. Yeah, not you, not you. Let's go back to the modules just to be sure. Yeah. Oh, I should also point out this top link here is not just videos by me. It is videos by all the math specialists. So if you look here, if you scroll down, there are some things we don't have any videos for, but there's lots of things we do have videos for. So most of them are me, but some of them are other people. So that is another place to find, wow, they just go on and on and on, lots of videos. There are lots of resources available to you guys. So definitely, if you're looking for help with something, there are lots of places to get help. Do not hesitate to ask for help. I know there was one other thing I wanted to say. Oh, I know what that was. I just want to point out, I think I wrote this in the discussion already, but definitely Desmos is a very useful tool. I encourage all of you to become familiar with it. It's probably the go-to graphing device for most people online. So we'll play around with this a little bit more today, but I just want to kind of show you it is there, and you can write things like y equals x squared minus 2x. And look, it gives you a great little graph there, and you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can click on things, and there's all sorts of functionality that I am probably not aware of that we will learn together. All right, I think that mostly covers the kind of navigating Canvas and Gradescope aspect of the course. Hopefully that makes things a little more clear as far as how to do what needs to be done. But I suppose I should stop sharing and ask you guys, do you have any questions about how to use Canvas or how to use Gradescope, or really how to use anything related to the class? It's okay if you don't have questions, but there's so many of you, I can't see you all at once. That's all right. There's a lot of us.
We have a quiz every Friday or like every weekend?
Correct. So the quiz will become available every Friday, and you can do it as soon as it's available, and it is due by, I think, Monday or I forget if I said Sunday or Monday at 5 p.m. I think I said Monday. Yeah, that would make sense. Our class meets Tuesday, Thursday, so I said Monday. Yes. Other questions?
So I know some of us doesn't have a scanner, so when we finish our quiz, can we take a photo, or do you prefer transfer the photo to PDF then?
Yeah, so here's what I would suggest. And I think I wrote some, maybe I didn't. Let me take a look here real quick. Let's go ahead and look at, sorry, you guys, I think I'm sharing my screen. I'm not sharing my screen. Let me look at one thing real quick here just to see. I feel like I might have written something here. One sec. So I didn't post it. So what I would suggest doing, so scanning is preferable. And what I would say is So I don't have a scanner. I use my phone, but and there are lots of different apps you can use. The one I prefer to use is Genius Scan. It's I know it's really very technologically awesome, me just showing you my phone on screen. Lots of them work fine. But what I will say is if you're using one of these, which I would recommend, before you scan something, if you go to the little settings gear thing and you go to general, if you select the default filter, select either color or black and white, because that'll make it look like a PDF document as opposed to just a picture. And that'll be much, much easier for anyone to read. So definitely don't select photo, because that's just going to look like you took a picture. Whereas if like you select black and white or color, it'll actually, like, I take pictures right here and there's usually shadows coming in over my document. And after I take the photo, it kind of like clears it all up magically and it looks like nice and very easy to read. So excellent question. Thank you for asking it.